the tongue-in-cheek joke I made before that, politics and markets go together like lamb and tuna fish. Like, I love to prove it, because whether you watch the news or anything else or go on Twitter, like, it feels like politics and geopolitics, specifically in the year 2026, is running our lives, and it shouldn't. And so what I'm showing here on this chart is S&P 500. As I mentioned before, the S&P 500 is just a basket of the largest stocks here in the United States. But underneath the hood of the S&P 500, there's different sectors. So companies that have a technological bias to them are information tech, or stocks that, like your hotels or airlines or your Amazons, they're in your consumer discretionary side of things. Like they're basketized by what sector that they have. And this chart that I'm showing you here to try to prove to you that market and politics go together like lamb and tuna fishes, I show the returns of each single sector underneath the S&P 500 under the first 4 years of current President Trump. So technically Trump 1.0 from 2016 to 2020. But then I compare it to the exact returns by sectors under a Democratic president of President Barack Obama, who was president from 2008 to 2016. And if you look at this, all right, if you look at this deck right here, it shows you that the sectors that worked under Obama were the exact same sectors that worked under Trump. All right, very directionally sound. But even on the other side of the spectrum, the sectors that underperformed during Trump, they also underperformed during President Obama's 8 years in office. And I think that just shows you that politics, they don't blend with markets, because we have a saying here, and I'll probably butcher it, but at the end of the day, macro information tends to be just noise, specifically when it's in regards to geopolitics, because at the end of the day, what the stock market is, it's just 500 companies that tend to be very resilient, that don't care about politics themselves. And so for you to invest in the market, it's not political. Or if you don't invest in the market, it's not political. You're just betting on the resiliency of corporate America. And that's something I would never bet against.